There are a lot of myths on Roblox that all blend together over time. The evil hacker, the cursed account, the don't join at 3 a.m. type of stuff. But Guest 666 is different because they weren't originally a villain or a hacker or even something supernatural. They were just a guest with a really unfortunate number attached to their name. And you know, the entire player base collectively decided that meant they were possessed by Satan, which is expected behavior of the internet, I guess. But to understand what actually happened, we need to take a look at the A Story trilogy, which contains a story, a nightmare, and a realization. These 3 games show how Sixer became the version seen in Forsaken, and it has nothing to do with being born evil. It's a story about identity, loneliness, and a friendship that slowly fell apart. Noob first meets Sixer on a quiet beach. No dramatic music, no horror atmosphere, just casual beach vibes. Sixer is walking back and forth like when you're nervous to tell your parents about something until they trip and fall into the water. Noob helps them up. When Noob asks their name, Sixer kneels down and writes Guest 666 in the sand. And instead of running away like half of the people would have back then, Noob invites them to hang out. Sixer smiles, which is already character development because they just looked like someone who didn't even have emotions up until this moment. And just like that, they became friends. They spend most of their time at Noob's place, partially because Sixer avoids crowds, and partially because the average Roblox lobby back then had the social warmth of a medieval witch trial. They talk by writing in a notebook. Noob gets a cat named Tac, spelled T-A-C. It's one of those names that you low-key regret, but now you're committed to it because the cat now responds to it. Eventually, Noob convinces Sixer to go to a party at the Iron Cafe. It's loud, crowded, people are staring, because naturally, to the Roblox player base, Guest 666 is some sort of curse. But Noob stays beside them the whole night. They share snacks, music, and a really normal moment. For a while, everything was simple. Over time, Sixer starts getting more frustrated during competitive games. Losing stops being, yo, GG's, and becomes more like having a 1,000-yard stare each time you lose. Then one day, after a rough loss, Sixer disappears for a while. When they come back, they're suddenly cracked. Prime Warzone movement demon, Cronus type of aim, like they came back with prime ninja skills. The fuck you say to me, you little shit? And Noob doesn't need to be Sherlock to figure it out. Sixer started using a script injector. At first, they're proud of it. Not showboating, just genuinely happy they can finally keep up. But the script starts doing more than just boosting. Their right arm begins to glitch into raw code. Doors bug out when they walk by, and leaderboards start having full emotional breakdowns. Sixer tries to hide it. Long sleeves, less talking, fewer outings, and Noob notices, but says nothing. I mean, like, what is this? You're seeing your friend's arm turn into a fucking Lua script, and naturally you just say nothing? I mean, I guess that might be realistic. Maybe Noob was just scared. But anyways, so the situation gets worse quietly. Eventually, Noob decides he has to say something, and he brings Sixer back to the same beach where they met. Sixer is already there, looking at the water, and the vibes are not good. Have you ever felt like the environment around you is heavy? Like you can just kind of feel all sorts of negative emotions around you? Yeah, that's what's going on here. A Noob tells them straight up, the script is destroying them. He's not being dramatic, he's scared. But Sixer hears something different. To them, it sounds like Noob is asking them to go back to being the silent, avoided Guest 666, who people treated like a warning label. The argument escalates. Both of them are emotional, but for different reasons. Sixer steps forward, not to attack, but to hold on to the only person they have left. Noob pulls back. The situation tips, panic meets panic, and Sixer hits Noob. The moment it happens, everything stops. Noob gets up slowly, shaken, and tells Sixer not to speak to him again. Then he leaves. No dramatic pause, just a choice made under pressure. Sixer tries to call out, but the voice they fought so hard to have is now too corrupted to form words. Only static comes out, and that's the end of their friendship. After this, Noob tries to move on. He gets new friends, joins new games, goes through the motions, but mentally, he never leaves that beach. He writes a letter, apologizing, but never sends it. The guilt just sits there, building its own room in his head. Eventually, that unresolved weight pulls him into Forsaken. Forsaken isn't a place you get dragged into by force. It's not something that happens to you. You end up in Forsaken, where you can't move on. It's where unresolved guilt, regret, and memory sit long enough that they become your entire world. Noob doesn't fall into Forsaken because he died or because someone took him. He ends up there because he never let go of what happened. He's still living in the moment where the friendship broke, and Forsaken is simply the shape that moment took when it never healed. Meanwhile, Sixer falls under the influence of the Spectre, an entity that doesn't invent pain, it just amplifies what's already there. Sixer wanders a maze, speaking aloud, convinced Noob abandoned them. Noob appears in the maze too, silent. But when the audio is spectrogram decoded, we learn Noob is begging for forgiveness the entire time. Sixer just can't hear it. The Spectre filters reality, so both of them stay trapped in their worst interpretation of the same moment. At the end of the maze, Sixer gives in, and the glitch becomes identity. This is the moment Guest 666 becomes the version seen in Forsaken. In Forsaken, Noob and Sixer exist in the same world, but cannot reach each other. Noob still cares. Sixer still hurts. Both are still reacting to the same conversation, just from different emotional angles. And the Spectre keeps it that way. It's not that one of them turned evil, it's that neither of them ever got to understand the other. That's the tragedy. That's the full story of Guest 666 and Noob. Not a demon myth, not a hacker legend, just a friendship that couldn't survive its own silence. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, since that helps me out a mega ton. Like, actually, just like a lot. So if you can, I appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.